receive is based on your salary. The pension contribution that individuals will make under Prop 80 will be commensurate with their pay. A person who makes $100,000 a year is going to pay 9%. A person who makes $50,000 a year is going to make 9%. Now, they like to talk about the city employee who makes, $32,000 a year. Actually, check, there's only 15 of them, right? 64% of city employees earn over $75,000, okay? And again, that employee is going to pay a percentage of their income that's commensurate with the amount that they earn.
But that's not the healthcare cost.
If you make more, you pay more. On the healthcare side, okay, people have said, well, why don't you exempt janitors? Why don't you exempt nurses? You can't assume because of a certain profession that their income is a certain level. You probably know this, that janitors make $79,000 a year right now.
No, I don't know.
And that nurses on average make $115,000.
The teachers don't make that kind of money, and they're impacted by your bill.
No, not my profession, just something else.
Healthcare.
But on the healthcare side, okay, on the healthcare side,
In a different governmental district.
on the healthcare side, you cannot assess healthcare based on the person's profession or based on the income. If you look at Charter Section 12.200, it says you can't do that. You can't discriminate and make assumptions about what people can pay when it comes to health care benefits. And that's a fact. And so these health care benefits are assessed equally depending on your use. What you can do is you can charge a person if they're only a single employee. You can charge a person differently if they have one dependent versus two dependents. And that's what the law provides. But the reason I did this is for another reason, because I do care about your retirement. In 5 or 6 years, what's going to happen when the healthcare system goes broke? What's going to happen when you don't get your pension payment anymore? In fact, when we were having a petition signed, and Mr. Morris is here, so you can ask him why he decided to do this. And he will tell you the reason why he decided. Do you think that he needs to do this? That he needs to get involved in an issue like this? I went to him. I went to him and I asked him, will you please support this? This is something that's important to the people of San Francisco. That's what that was about. But if we don't do anything, you're not going to get the benefit of the bargain that you made. We had retirees sign the petition, and we had police officers sign the petition. Why? Because they understand that unless we do something, there's not going to be health care, there's not going to be retirement pensions for anyone.
So just one last quick question, simple comment. The average pension for anybody that retires from San Francisco, I'm talking about right now, is $33,000, which is not too far from what the poverty level is. That is what it is right now. Despite some of the aberrations that Mr. Adachi talked about, the 6-digit pensions or whatever else, the average pension is about $33,000. That's the family.
Yeah, and those aren't the pensions we're worried about. Currently, 1 out of every 3 city employees earns $100,000. Okay, as I said, the top 100 police officers make $221,000. When those people retire, we have 40% of our workforce eligible to retire. You're talking about not a tsunami, but a crisis that.
Wait a minute. May I, George?
Yes.
You said 1/3 of city employees, and there are 28,000, not 26,000, makes $100,000 or more?
Yes, absolutely. If you want to see, there's a website. You go to sanfranciscosalaries.org. It has the COG, yeah, sanfranciscosalaries.com.
9,000.
Okay. We're down to, I think, I don't see any hand, well, this is the last question, and I
What a young guy.
well,
No offense, sorry.
I'm sorry, it will be for the young guy, and I first off, before we end, and I don't know how it's gonna end, you can tell how passionately both these guys love the city, have a different point of view, and I think we really should appreciate that they took a Monday night, came down and talked to us. These are very complex issues, they're hard to understand. So I want to thank them from the Western Twin Peaks Central Council for their time and coming here and explaining these issues, and I feel like knowledge is power. We're much better off if they came here tonight. we're much better informed. We can tell our neighbors, we'll have different opinions depending on who we are. But this is a good thing, and I'm glad to see so many people came. And then the last question goes to the gentleman in the white shirt.
It's quite interesting. Well, you're absolutely right. I mean, kudos to both of you for touring the city for, I don't know, how many days have you guys done? Just, it's politics at its best, it's government at its best.
There's a lot of democracy in San Francisco.
Yeah, I think
there are a lot of clubs, and I get around.
Yeah. My question is, and I'm working right now for someone who's trying to get elected. So
Who's that?
Abraham Simmons up in District 2, who's on the civil grand jury. It's voluntary jury. He's one of the only ones who dared to come out in favor of Proposition B because of the boots on the ground threat from the unions. I guess. Sure. So I can answer the question of why no elected officials will want to touch this thing. And this is to both of you. I don't know if this question. This isn't a weighted question either way. What other cities, can you compare San Francisco to some other cities, both where we currently are with our healthcare and pension contributions? What other cities do it like we do? And how's that working out for them? And under Prop B, what other cities do that? Cities, states, just government? Can we get some comparisons to where we are now versus where we're going to go? And
Yeah, I can answer that just using a couple of Bay Area examples. Vallejo. You also got Contra Costa County, very similar benefit structure than what we have here. And they're breaking on bankruptcy, as you probably heard. Richmond, Alameda has the same problems. Oakland has the same problems. But we're different because we're a city and a county. And in a sense, it has magnified our problems even more because, we can't turn to a county and say bail us out. We don't have that option. In Vallejo, where they refused to contribute towards the pensions, police and fire, and went into bankruptcy. And a lot of people said, "Oh, that'd be great. Why don't we just go into bankruptcy and we can renegotiate retirement benefits and the whole thing?" That'd be a disaster for San Francisco. It means you can't borrow, you can't carry over money year to year, and it freezes. If you go to Richmond or you go to Vallejo, you'll see that. And so it went to a bankruptcy judge. Now the police and fire are contributing. This is worded by a bankruptcy judge. 13.5% into their pension. By that measure, 10% for police and fire.
And I want to be very clear, Vallejo is a bad way of doing things. It's not the way we do it in San Francisco, where we sit down, we talk to our actuaries, we talk to the city government, we talk to the city departments to make sure that we can save city services and keep costs down as far as we can. San Francisco, again, without getting into the weeds, to the gentleman, I mean, almost every city from San Jose up to Richmond and those areas, they have a retirement age where you can first start accessing your health plan in 5 years less than they have in San Francisco. And the percentages, I don't have all the percentages on top of my head, but the percentage that is determined when you retire as to what you get is much lower than other cities around in the area. I mean, people have been very diligent in San Francisco. And when you said it was 97, 98% funded, that is as good as you get. So many people are underfunded, and during the good times thought, hey, we don't have to pay all that much. There was still a lot of paying that was going on here, and if you talk to people, they will tell you that this pension fund is in as good a shape as any, despite what has happened in Wall Street.
And
So thank you for having us.
And on that point, I have to say I agree 100%. The pension fund will continue to be funded at 97% until we all go broke.
Please, a warm welcome.